Hi guys, welcome to a new tutorial, and this time I'm going to show you how I painted this plumeria with watercolors. For a dramatic effect, I have given a jet black background and you can see how the flower just pops off the paper. This is my latest tutorial on Patreon and also Skillshare. It's a 2-hour long tutorial in real time. So without further ado, let's just dive into the video. This is a 7 inches by 7 inches arch hot pressed 140 pounds paper which I have stretched on a board. I have given a washi tape border on all four sides to secure a white edge to the painting. Now for the black background, I'll be using Amsterdam acrylic ink in the shade Oxide Black number 735. This is a waterproof ink and that's why I can paint the background first. If you're using gouache or watercolors or any medium which is not waterproof, then I'll recommend giving the background in the end so that those colors won't bleed into your white flower. So for this I have taken a separate palette to which I will add just few drops of this ink. Now for the brush I'm going to use a mop or a quill brush as it can hold a lot of ink and it also has a fine point. You can use any round brush that you have. Next I'm going to add few drops of water to this ink to dilute it a little as I find it a little thick for my taste. I prefer to give two layers of this rather than one thick layer. Mix it well. The consistency should be milky to watery. And then I start painting the background with this. Unlike watercolors, ink is a quite forgiving medium, so you can paint this in whatever fashion you want. I'm painting the outside areas first, and then very slowly I'll paint around the edges of the flower. If you don't feel confident, then you can also mask off the flower petals with masking fluid and paint the background. I give two layers of this color till I get a satisfied result. Give a good drying time in between layers. After the background is complete, I remove the washi tape and to my horror, I find that on one side I had accidentally put washi tape on the brown paper tape and I lost one white edge. But in the end, I'm able to revive that edge by carefully peeling off the brown paper tape. So all is well in the end. Moving on, let's mix up some colors for the flower. Now since this is a white flower, I start by painting the shadows first. So I mix up some grays. So for the grey, I'll be using Neutral Tint from Winsor & Newton. This is an excellent bluish grey which I love. If you don't have this pigment, then you can simply mix up your own greys with three primary colors, that is red, blue and yellow. So this grey will be our main shadow color which will go in all the areas that are slightly dark. Now the next mix will be grey with burnt sienna to make it a slightly brownish grey which I can see in some parts of the flower. Now the third mix will be some quinacridone gold with neutral tint and also a bit of Sennelier yellow deep. This will be our warm grey or yellowish grey. So always observe your reference picture closely. This will further push your painting towards realism. At this stage, I'm just going to mix grays as we'll start painting the shadows first. We will mix yellows later on. For this, I'll be using Princeton Velvet Touch brush size 6, long round, which has a really fine point. So for the first base layers, I'll work with wet on wet technique, which is ideal to get a soft and smooth finish. So give an even layer of clean water on the petal. Always keep two containers of water, one for washing your dirty brushes and other for applying clean water. Apply water as if you're applying paint well within the pencil boundaries to the entire petal, an even glistening layer without any puddles or any dry areas anywhere. You should be able to see the texture of the paper. Then start dropping the neutral grey in the shadow area. After applying the color, I wash the brush and with a clean damp brush, I stop the color from spreading too far, thus controlling the color over here. Next, I take the yellow-grey color and paint it on the extreme right, and to this I add the brownish-grey color in the crease of the petal. Always paint in the direction of the veins on the petal, as this will make the flower look 3D right from your first layer, and therefore it's a good habit to cultivate. Keep the colors very light at this stage, as we don't want to go too dark too soon. It's better to work in multiple layers. After you have applied color, then keep on lifting with a damp brush in areas where the highlights are there. At this stage, it's better to keep more highlights, as we can always come back and darken the colors. If you have more time, then keep on darkening the shadows if you want. Keep the edges always clean and crisp. Here you can also use a lifting brush or an eradicator brush to clean off the edges. I wash my brush every time after I lift some color and repeat the process again and again till I am satisfied with the lifting result. You can keep on adding more colors till your painting is wet. And once you feel that the glaze has got dried, then stop working and let the petal dry completely. Repeat the same process on all the petals. Try to keep everything light at this stage, as we are going to come back in second layer to intensify the shadows furthermore. After the first layer, I come in with my eraser and erase off all the pencil lines, and I also clean off edges or any inconsistencies with a lifting brush. So take a damp eradicator brush or lifting brush and take a kitchen towel in your other hand and just slightly go over the areas that you want to lift and then just dab it over with a kitchen towel. Now for the second layer, I usually work wet on dry technique, meaning I'll not be putting any water glaze first. For this, I like to use two brushes, one for applying color and the other damp brush for softening the colors which are applied. This way we'll be wasting less time and color as well. I use the same mixes and I'm more confident now to darken all the shadows. Giving a black background first also helps in gauging the tones. But if you're painting the background in the end, then you have to take an extra step of adjusting the tonal values again on the flower after applying the black background. I let this layer dry completely now before painting yellows. I'll make some space on my palette. You can even use another one. I'm also going to retain all these grey mixes as we'll be needing them again. Use clean yellows to maintain the vibrancy of the pigments. So the first yellow I'll take is lemon yellow. This will brighten up the yellow tones. This lemon yellow is from Sennelier. Next, I'm taking Sennelier Yellow Deep. This will be our mid-tone. Now for the shadows, I'll take Sennelier Yellow plus Transparent Pyrrole Orange. This color is from Core Golden Paints. You can use whatever orange you have. Now to mute this down, I'll use Burnt Sienna since I've already used this color for the shadow areas. This will be our darkest tone. Now for this layer, I'm directly painting on dry paper to get the intensity right. I start with lemon as the undertone, and I'm doing this freehand as I didn't want any pencil lines to be seen through this transparent yellows. Next, I will take Sennelier Yellow and paint on the lemon, but I'll be leaving some lemon areas also. Follow the direction of the strokes that you can see in the reference picture. Leave the ends very light to make it look natural. Then I take the shadow color and paint the very darkest inner center of the flower. Now I'm also going to take one more color, which is quinacridone gold, for some muted shadows which are not as dark as the oranges and the browns. So repeat the same process on all the remaining petals in the same way. After this layer dries, I come with the grays as well and adjust all the tones on the entire flower. From time to time, take a step back from your painting, look at it with fresh eyes. You can also turn the painting and the reference picture upside down. This really helps. This overall adjustment of the tones on the entire flower is very important step, so don't miss it. And after the flower is finished, I come with a size 0 brush and black ink to refine all the edges of the petal. You can even do this with a black colored pencil, just a tip. I make few more tonal adjustments on the flower and thus finish the painting. You can find this full-length real-time tutorial on my Patreon and also Skillshare. You can also buy this tutorial individually from my Gumroad store. All the links are given in the description box below. I have more than 50 tutorials on my Patreon, and every month I post new tutorials. Just like this one, it's either in watercolors or colored pencils. In the end, you can see I was able to revive the white edge. I hope you enjoyed watching this video, and if you do, then kindly hit the like, share and subscribe button so that you don't miss any of my future videos. Till then, see you in the next video. Bye.